Welcome back to Vital Life Stories, where we uncover the profound narratives that shape our character and define our destiny. Meet Ethan, a young blacksmith blessed with incredible natural talent, capable of shaping cold metal into magnificent works of art. Yet, despite his gifted hands, a heavy shadow hung over his potential, for Ethan was plagued by a crippling laziness. He constantly dreamed of greatness and fame, yet he chose the comfort of his chair over the heat of action. Orders from the villagers piled up high, gathering dust in the corner, while Ethan promised himself he would start tomorrow. He justified his endless delays with a simple excuse, telling everyone he was just waiting until he felt truly ready. Days turned into weeks, and the forge remained cold and silent, devoid of the rhythmic clanging that signals productivity. The consequences of his inaction began to ripple through the village, causing distress among those who relied on his skills. The village guards carried chipped swords, leaving the community vulnerable, all because the talented blacksmith was waiting for inspiration to strike. Ethan slept through the mornings, convinced that creativity could not be forced, and that work should only happen when convenient. The patience of the community finally wore thin, and the village elder decided it was time to confront the young man. The elder warned him sternly, saying he would lose his place in the village if he did not change his ways. Fear gripped Ethan's heart for a moment, yet the habit of procrastination was a heavy chain he could not break. He tried to work, but the moment he felt resistance, he retreated to comfort, promising to try again later. His talent was rusting away, just like the unused iron in his shop, consumed by the weeds of his laziness. Then one fateful afternoon, a wise old blacksmith named Samuel appeared at the doorway, his eyes filled with knowing depth. Samuel surveyed the silent workshop and the cold furnace, understanding exactly what battle the young smith was fighting within himself. Ethan quickly began to list his excuses, claiming he was waiting for the perfect moment to create his masterpiece. The old master listened patiently, then smiled gently and shared a secret that would change Ethan's perspective on work forever. He told the young man that discipline is exactly like iron. You must forge it every single day without fail. You must strike the iron even when your hands ache and your mind screams for rest, for that is strength. Ethan realized he had been waiting for a feeling that might never come, instead of building the strength to act. Samuel advised him to start small, to force himself to work for just 5 minutes, regardless of his mood. With a heavy sigh, Ethan lit the furnace, committing to work for only a few minutes as the old man suggested. 5 minutes turned into 10, and the rhythmic sound of the hammer began to silence the lazy thoughts in his head. He finished a simple nail, and a spark of satisfaction ignited within him, a feeling far better than lying in bed. The next morning, he forced himself out of bed again, ignoring the comfort of his blankets to face the cold anvil. He committed to 1 hour of work, repairing tools for the neighbors, proving to himself that action creates its own motivation. Seeing the gratitude in the farmer's eyes gave Ethan a sense of purpose that he had been missing for years. He learned to ignore his fluctuating emotions, showing up to the forge every day, whether he felt like it or not. Small successes began to accumulate, building a momentum that turned his painful discipline into a powerful and unbreakable habit. As weeks passed, his skills sharpened alongside his discipline, and he began to produce the finest work of his life. The villagers returned, their trust restored, whispering in awe about the magnificent transformation of the young blacksmith and his work. The village elder returned not with a warning, but with a handshake of respect, acknowledging the young man's newfound maturity. Samuel watched from afar, knowing that Ethan had finally learned that the fire of discipline burns hotter than fleeting motivation. Ethan stood amidst his creations, realizing that waiting for readiness is a trap, and action is the only key. He was no longer the boy who waited for the world to move him. He was the man who moved the world. He began to share his lesson with others, teaching that the hardest part of any journey is simply taking the first step. The forge became the heart of the village once again, beating with the rhythm of consistency, hard work, and dedication. He understood now that motivation is fickle and temporary, but discipline is the faithful friend that never leaves your side. Just like a fire needs fuel to burn, your dreams need the fuel of consistent action to become a reality. Don't wait until you feel like doing it, because feelings are followers, and they will eventually follow your actions. The village thrived not because of a sudden miracle, but because one man decided to conquer himself before conquering his craft. Every time you force yourself to do the hard work, you are forging a stronger version of yourself in the fire. Remember that the pain of discipline weighs ounces, while the pain of regret weighs tons. So choose your burden wisely. True freedom is not doing whatever you want, but having the power to do what you must, regardless of feelings. Start small today. Take that one step you have been avoiding, and watch how it transforms your entire life. Success is not a destination reserved for the inspired. It is a reward for those who show up every day. So ask yourself, what are you putting off today? And what small step can you take right now to start? Let the story of Ethan be the spark that lights your own furnace of discipline and drives you toward greatness. Embrace the grind. Fall in love with the process, and never let your emotions dictate your path to success. Thank you for watching Vital Life Stories. If this story inspired you, please like and subscribe for more life-changing narratives.